Hey guys, welcome back to Brick System Brothers. Today a little bit of a sort report, a little bit of an early preview of footnotes, and some Green Grocer stuff as well. But looking ahead here, the end of the month, I'll be out of town, so I won't be able to do my footnotes right at the end of the month like I usually do. I'll probably try to do a little something later, maybe a week or so into September. And just look back at maybe the analytics a little bit more, but my usual thing isn't going to happen. So I'll probably try to cover some of what I would today, and most of that is related to the ongoing sorting and starting to get the wheels turning on Green Grocer a little more. But sorting has been moving along, so probably the last sort report video, I had a couple of these large Sterilite bins that were grouped. I think I had a slopes, bricks, and then this one with the specialty plates is actually from Iowa. And this was a category that I didn't get all the way sorted out before I moved. So I had brought this back now that I have the Akro mills on hand to work on some of that. And it's been working out pretty good to just pull those drawers and get a nice grid going here on the floor and really just have it spread out and just kind of work down this group a little bit at a time. And there's kind of two layers here. So the first layer is the actual final destination bins, which are these Akro mills, and a lot of these are actually getting pretty full. I think I'm going to have to break categories out here. Like this one will probably be the next to go. This has the 1x2 with the 2 clips on the right side, 1x2 with the end clip on the left. And that's just about ready for these guys to go into their own Akro mills and then take this divider out. And I've already done that in a couple of other bins as well. But as this gets sorted down, you know, those can fill up. But in here there's also some other parts that aren't part of this specific Akro mills group of drawers. So instead of trying to get, you know, a whole nother set of drawers that wrap around the corner, which I could do, but I'm also trying to keep things somewhat focused. I'm breaking those out into their own category. So this is brackets, and those are all going together, and then I'll do another round with just the brackets. And then I'm also using these really useful box tray style things that I talked about earlier this year as kind of a holding zone. And these either don't have their own drawer or they got pushed out. So this guy on the end is where all these octagon parts came from. They got pushed out of that drawer. Now they need a new home. So they're just kind of waiting in this temporary storage zone. But what that does is it helps keep me moving on the parts that I do have right in front of me. And then I can get this bin worked all the way down out of the mixed up parts and kind of have these two layers of the completely sorted parts that will go back on the wall, and then the stuff that's ready for the next round. Basically, I just bring this bin in to the middle and bring in the correct drawers for the brackets. Do it all again. Or, you know, there's few enough here that I'd probably bring it over to the table by the wall and just load them straight into the relevant drawer units. But yeah, that's the one that I've got them all pulled out from. I'm going to have to expand into that one a little bit. But it is nice to have, well, first of all, the drawers on the wall, and second of all, the lighting, and that has helped a lot. Way better than the old light that was in here. So that has been good. And the other thing that has been moving forward is Green Grocer. Picking those parts with my checklist here. And it has been nice because a lot of those I've been able to do right after I get them sorted. So I'm not having to dig through the mixed stuff. I can just go directly to the sorted parts and pull those out by color and kind of get these staged and hopefully get that started building by the end of the month. So looking at doing probably the first video highlight of rounding up parts. Well, getting a sneak peek here, but basically what I do have ready to go And then there's a few things I just need to just get a couple more of. I might have to place another Bricklink order or two and have those on the way. So probably getting Green Grocer really going in September, but definitely making progress on having those parts staged and ready to go for the build. And that's kind of where it's at. Been doing a lot of sorting, not as much with the building except for the Mediterranean Market Street last week. So I got that off the table, got my bins of parts going. Started with the slopes over here and pretty much sorted out as far as I could to the bins that I do have here on hand. And now I'm right smack in the middle of my specialty plates. And these are taking longer because the parts are just smaller. So, you know, there's just more of them. And then I do have a stash of bricks. So these guys will need to get sorted out. But those will go pretty quick again because they are larger. So, you know, there's maybe 600 to 800 just bricks that need sorted out here. In that bin, even though this is the same size bin, there's probably more like 12 to 1400 parts in there that need sorted. So just smaller parts, takes a little longer to get through. Another thing that's going on is different, much higher number of different parts. So you bricks, you know, you've got the 1x, the 2x, a couple of odd ones out here, but more or less you don't need as many bins. But for something like this with the specialty parts, there's just a lot of different types, different styles. Some of them are retired, so I do have a pretty decent system worked out for, you know, consolidating that and having each thing in their own spot. But it's going to take a little bit more bins, and that's just more time. So yeah, sorting is work intensive for sure, but it is nice to have stuff organized for projects like this. And I have definitely talked about that on the channel at length, so I'll try not to drone on about it here, but that's what's been going on. I swapped out the unsorted stuff on the table for Green Grocer stuff, so it's definitely not any more clean, but different project in the wheelhouse, and looking at doing that into the next couple weeks. So yeah, footnotes will be delayed. Don't freak out. Probably still try to cover some of the stuff that I usually do. It'll just be later into September a little bit and not right at the end of the month. So that's coming up. Just keep you guys posted on that. And hopefully we'll see you soon for the Green Grocer.